It starts with Lil Man. He pushes the ball. I mean, he's fast out there, man. As y'all can see, he's from one end to the other. He's taking off and making a hell of a lot of plays for us, and we love it. We love it when he takes off like that. 'Cause we get open threes. I mean, Evan did the same thing. We get open threes. We get wide open layups, and we're going to continue to play that way. Whenever I get the rebound, it's just like I turn around and see who's there. And like I said, that was one of those two plays was just it, and we just threw it.
He knows I'm always taking off, and if I could test a shot, I want to take off and expect him or our bigs to clean up. And, once I knew he was going for it, and by the time Sully had caught it out, that half court would be on. I knew we had numbers, and it's just a matter of if Sully gets his head up and see. As you see, he has that strength to get it from one end of the court to the other pass, and a lot of guys in the league can't do that.
The Celtics win another thriller, 105-104. I feel like every intro has been like this week.
Yeah.
So let's get the beat with it. Celtics win. Garden Report, CLNS Radio and Celtics blog, powered by Grandstand.
Yes, I'm the boss.
Welcome to the show. Got my main man, Jimmy Toscano, with me. I am Jared Weiss. Part of a line right there. Might have destroyed his microphone. That's all right. We'll keep going with it.
Can you still hear me?
So, let's see. They can still hear you. All right, good.
All right.
Audio's working. So, let's talk about this game. They go on a 13-4 run to close this one out.
They did.
The Knicks were kind of physically crushing, let's say crushing, but they were physically controlling the game for so much of it. And then
they had the game in their hands.
They did. And then the Celtics did what they do best. They got out and ran. Every single part of the game is when they can do it, but they did it in the end of the game in the fourth quarter, and they smothered the Knicks at the end there.
They went on a couple big runs in this game where they would just put the pedal to the metal and just totally take catch the Knicks off guard. The Knicks weren't trying to run up and down the court tonight. They had 4 fast break points all night. So
how many did the Celtics have?
30.
Not bad.
30-4. I mean,
bad.
if you can believe that. And actually, I think Jay Crowder hinted at the fact that the Knicks pretty much allowed them to get out on the break tonight, because when they play that triangle offense that they play, they've got big men. They've got men, under the hoop there. So they've got numbers on the break every single time. There wasn't really much of an adjustment on the Knicks coaching staff's part, which we'll probably get into some of their things later.
They're a poorly coached team, and I'm going to really go in on that on the second video.
Oh boy!
But I think a play that really epitomized it was the first touchdown that Jared Sullinger threw to Jay Crowder with a couple of 2.5 minutes left or so.
The one that brought them to within one?
Yeah, or I think it was the one before that.
Okay.
Where Carmelo so Crowder defended a Melo shot on the right side of the floor, got his hand right up in Carmelo's face. Mm-hmm. Melo misses the shot. So when that shot goes in the air, Melo stares at it while Crowder just starts bolting down the court. Melo then, I think it was Bradley might have gotten the ball off the rebound. Melo just kind of like half-assed just walked up to him to kind of defend the ball. But at that point, Crowder was already on the other free throw line. Sullinger gets it, rifles it to Crowder. That Melo should have been back there defending it, but Melo doesn't do that. That's one of the major flaws of Carmelo Anthony, and I think it really epitomized the major issues with this Knicks team that the Celtics were able to capitalize on.
And I'll tell you what, the more I watch Jared Sullinger's outlet passes, the more I'm convinced that the Patriots, they can trade Garoppolo. Because if Sully wants to go ahead and play backup QB, I think he can make do.
He could probably do it.
But
the lineman jokes are now turning into quarterback jokes.
Yeah, but on a serious note, I think Sullinger's becoming one of the better players in the league at those outlet passes. Kevin Love-esque in Kevin Love's heyday of outlet passes. And I loved the second one, too. The two-handed soccer throw that just nailed Crowder right in stride. No dribble necessary for the layup that brought them within one, forced the Knicks to call a timeout, and the momentum was just completely shifted in the Celtics. I thought the roof was going to blow off this place. It was so loud.
So that play was so incredible because first you have that Evan Turner save.
Which, made it
Mason
all
Galloway
happen.
wasn't going to make that play. That was Evan Turner's play. And we'll show you more about Brad on Evan Turner after this video. He was physically just great for the team. But so Turner makes that save. That was huge. And Sullinger fights off Robin Lopez to grab that ball. That was impressive.
Boxed him out of the way.
And then to spin around and just almost blindly throw, or as Sully said, he kind of scans the court and then goes,
F it.
Yeah, he didn't say F it. He just went, it.
Yeah.
Very well censored. Thanks the FCC for us. But Sullinger is just like quickly spinning around, scanning the court within a microsecond. He just knows that he's probably going to have Crowder or Bradley or someone like that down there, and he rifles that beautiful soccer pass. And it was right on target.
Yeah.
And the guy that was down there, which might have been Bradley,
It was Bradley.
almost intercepted it from
Yeah, it was two
Crowder. He
guys.
was like that could have been pretty ugly, but thankfully they survived that one.
Yeah, it's becoming just, I think, a natural reaction now for a guy like Sullinger to, grab the board, turn, and look for that guy streaking down the court. Crowder's getting easy buckets that way, and they talked about it after the game where, at this point in the season, Crowder says Sullinger just knows to look for him down that way because he's making a break for it. And I even believe Crowder said that as soon as he saw Evan Turner commit to that ball out of bounds, he took off. And if you watch the replay, it looks like that exact thing happened. And Bradley was there too as the backup just in case. But that's what this team's all about is just scoring as often, or at least attempting to score as often as quickly as possible.
Okay, so Evan Turner
Lead the league in field goal attempts.
And Evan Turner had a huge fourth quarter. He
Huge.
played the entire 12 minutes of the quarter, which when I asked Brad Stevens about it, he had no idea that had happened. But he said that you couldn't take Turner out because Turner was just so key to them. Even when they put Isaiah Thomas back in, he is huge. I keep going like this. I feel like I should start saying huge. He is huge, and this is why. When they put Isaiah back in the game, they still had Turner running point with Isaiah out there because of the way that the Knicks are set up, where they weren't using Porzingis, so they were going small. It allowed the Celtics to stay small with Crowder at the 4, which is how they like to close now. And having Turner in there was great because they were allowed to keep Isaiah off ball, which frankly they didn't even really use him that much in the fourth quarter. I thought they would run a lot of sets for him, but they didn't even get to do that, mostly because they got into transition so much. But Turner was just great on both ends. He got, whenever they needed him to make a play, whether it was that, like we were talking about pregame, that behind-the-back move, which he almost scored on that first time he tried it, scored later on it, but he was able to make pretty much any type of play they needed him to make tonight.
Absolutely, and that's fourth quarter Evan Turner that we've been talking about all season. This guy, he goes into another gear in the fourth quarter. Brad Stevens has more faith in Evan Turner than I think anybody in the world. I think when it comes down to it, no matter what the situation. You would never expect that to be the case, but that's the case.
So not that all the people on Twitter that tweet I hate Evan Turner.
Yeah, those
every
people
5
can
minutes.
go screw now because they were wrong the entire time.
They've been wrong for a while.
They've been wrong for a while.
We've done this 40 times at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was Evan Turner coming up multiple times in a big situation, and that's what they've come to expect out of him now. And it's going to be very interesting. Topic for another day. It's going to be very interesting to see what Evan Turner does in the offseason because I think he would thrive here with under Brad Stevens, who loves him more than he might in other teams. But will the Celtics pay him as much as another team would? Is the question.
Well, you know he wants to get paid, but he's been pretty clear about how much he values the system here and the environment here. So that'll be interesting. Let's go to part 2. Before we do that, we got to do the grandstand play of the game. Grandstand for fans in the stands. Download Grandstand at clnsradio.com/grandstand app. We got that Avery Bradley play? We got that Avery Bradley play. Let's see that Avery Bradley play. Avery Bradley winning it for the Celtics. We'll be back for part 2. Stay on this playlist. We'll be right back.
Coach, Evan Turner made multiple key plays for you guys down the stretch, but the one where everyone else seemed to quit on a play with the ball was going out of bounds, and he saved it to Sully. Sully outlets it for the layup. How did that play kind of characterize just what he brings to you every single night? Just seems to do the little things for you guys.
Well, and then on the very next play, we get a stop, and he's dribbling up the court and just makes a 15-foot pull-up. He does a lot for us. And, he's really played well. And, I thought that, obviously we don't win this game without him. And we probably don't win the last New York game without him. He's been for whatever reason, he's been very good in these particular games. He's usually good anyways, but these particular games he's been very good.
Brad, did you initially plan to have Evan play all 12 minutes in the fourth, or just the small ball matchup could dictate for it to work?
I didn't even know he did. Couldn't take him out. I thought he was really valuable for us tonight because of their physicality. He can handle the physicality on the drives off the pick and roll and make a play or finish and those type of things. And I didn't even realize he played that time.
Evan Stevens just said that he kept you in because he knew that you could handle the physicality of this team. How did you feel tonight?
No, I felt fine. I felt confident. I knew, shots were going to fall. I knew I was able to make big plays, and I just knew, if I just kept my head into it and our team kept our head into it, we'd give ourselves an opportunity to win.